Hey guys, what's going on? So we're getting very close to Classic launch, and in these next videos that I'm going to be doing, they're all going to be focused around Phase 1 and preparing yourself for Classic launch. So this first video that we're going to do is our to-do list at level 60. So first off, if you're watching this and you've hit 60, congratulations. This is a feat that so many of us didn't even complete back in the day. So take a moment and pat yourself on the back, as you know, level 60 is a huge accomplishment. So at this point, players often start to struggle on what to do next. 60 is kind of a big milestone and a big goal that many people have. So now that you've completed it, sometimes you can be a little bit lost on what to do next. So this is the time that you need to ask yourself, what kind of stuff would you like to do in Classic WoW at endgame? Are you looking to jump into raids? Are you wanting to get some payback in STV? Or are you interested in working on your professions? The reason why Classic is so addictive is that there are so many good goals out there and different targets that you can set your sights at. But this is also a problem, as there are so many things that you can be doing upon reaching level 60 that sometimes players don't know where to begin, or they can feel a little bit overwhelmed. So as I've said, the first thing that we need to do is now set a few end goals for ourselves. We need to take a look at, how real life will impact our gameplay, how much time we can devote to the game, how much time we would like to devote to the game, and, what our goals are. For some people, the whole leveling from 1 to 60 is their Classic experience, and that is what they enjoy. And for you, that might be the same thing, and you might find yourself, rolling a new character once you hit 60. So this list is subjective, and your playstyle will dictate, what's important to you at level 60. So just listen to this list and then kind of move things around based on your playstyle and what you have time for. So I know before we get into this list, a lot of people will be asking about PvP, and I just want to say this as kind of a disclaimer. Even if your goal is to do a lot of PvP and to rank to even say rank 14, I would suggest putting all of this on the back burner, because every upcoming phase is going to have new and exciting updates for PvP. And so phase 1 is kind of, it has no honor system or structured PvP. So I want you guys to use this time to actually prepare for PvP. All right, moving into our list. Number 1 is our epic mount. This is a huge thing for hitting level 60. It's going to drastically improve your quality of life within the game. However, I do want to kind of set this up very specifically. I think for your average player who's hitting 60, they're in a casual guild and they're just looking to have fun with the game, I would spend this time, at level 60, farming some gold and getting enough gold for your epic mount. Now, if you are a more hardcore player and you plan on taking raiding very seriously, maybe you're looking to do a week 2 or week 3 rag clear, and you're really trying to get after that, I would definitely put the gold that you're farming to work for you for either consumables or BOEs that you can buy that you need for your class. This is very important, as the PvP aspect of the game, as I've said, is not in the game at phase 1. There will be world PvP, but it's not going to be a focus, as the PvP honor system is not in. So most people will not be putting a huge emphasis on PvP. This means that having your epic mount is not going to be as impactful for you in phase 1. So I would spend that time using the gold that you could have bought your epic mount for getting a hold of some really good BOEs that you need. For example, for a druid, it would be Sash of Mercy. It would be things like Myrmidon Ban. It would be Warden Staff. If you're going feral, those kind of things are very important to look out for on the auction house. So our next tip is to work on professions. Now, the professions is in this area because technically professions are probably going to be worked on by most people while you're farming for your epic mount, as a lot of professions will be used as money makers, especially in phase 1. I know a lot of people will be leveling with professions to make gold in terms of like gathering professions, and then a lot of people will be utilizing professions come 60 to also make gold. This is just something that you can work on in your time farming, or you can work on it after you've done your farming. Some professions require you to buy a lot of materials, and other professions require you to farm a lot of materials. You can work on that in either way. Like I've said, if you're farming for gold for your mount, a lot of time it makes sense to do your professions at the same exact time. So that would be my big tip for number 2. Moving into number 3, which is attunements. So attunements, again, is going to depend on your playstyle. For many players, attunements will be, built into our leveling experience in the late 50s, or it will be something that we're focusing on right when we hit 60. This is just because people are going to want to jump into raids if they're in a hardcore raiding guild. Now, if you're an average player and you're just leveling up, you're in a casual guild, and raids are in the distant future for you, this is why I'm putting this at number 3. It's nice to get your attunements done quickly and efficiently at the beginning, because there's a lot of other people that are working on them too, so you can find groups very easily. Now, with these attunements that you need to do, a lot of you will not know exactly what quest chain you need to be doing, and so you'll turn to the internet for guides. I myself won't be making a guide on attunements, as there's so many, but I will suggest that Tips Out has some really, really good attunement guides that are very straightforward and extremely easy and user-friendly. All right, moving into number 4, our Priebus. Now, obviously, this is much more important if you are, again, like I said, a hardcore player and you're looking for those early raid clears. This is something you're going to want to be doing early on, and you'll probably start doing it in your mid-50s when you can start doing full clears of Blackrock depths. Your Priebus gear is not as hard as people think it is to get. You can actually farm out your Priebus gear fairly quickly. Normally each class will have a few items that become sticking points, which have a low drop rate or are highly sought after, and this might take you several weeks to complete. The great thing about dungeons is they don't take that much time, and early on in the game, especially in phase 1, there are going to be so many different groups looking for members to come and join them, especially in dungeons like Blackrock Depths, Lower Blackrock Spire and Upper Blackrock Spire. Those are going to be really, really big dungeons that lots of people get Priebus out of, and so you'll see runs for these going all the time. So it'll be very easy for you to jump right in. Now, with those 4 points out of the way, like I said, those points you can move up and down in terms of your priorities in the game. If you're more of a hardcore player, obviously Priebus and attunements are going to take charge, and then obviously if you don't care so much about end game content of raiding, you're probably going to want to spend some time farming gold, doing professions, and just having fun. So that leads us into the final point, which is number 5. Once you have gold, consumables, you've attuned yourselves to the different raids, and you have your best in slot, you have a big portion of phase 1 done. The best thing that you can do at this point, besides obviously have fun, is to complete different quest chains that you have yet to do, explore the world, and just pick up different flight paths. Get a lot of your farming out of the way. In phase 1, you can't have too much gold. It's great. Phase 1 is a great time to stockpile and basically get ready for the rest of the phases coming up. You're going to find that in phase 2 and onward, that there's going to be less time for you to have this quote-unquote downtime for farming than you would early on in the game. You're going to have a very hectic world in phase 2 with lots of world PvP, and you'll find farming out in the world will be kind of challenging. There's probably going to be a lot of people going into Dire Maul to farm in there, but even outside of Dire Maul, there'll probably be tons of people camping all the time. So that's just something that you're going to have to realize is coming for you in the later phases of the game. So my biggest tip, and we'll end it on that, my biggest tip is to just try and complete and stockpile materials and gold for the coming phases. I will say that anytime I create a video like this, it's inevitable that there's going to be comments stating you could take things more casually, just have fun with the game. I don't know why people are making such a big fuss about this, but in general, it's nice to have goals or things that you're working towards. It makes logging into the game much more enjoyable, and it allows you to have something, to look forward to when you think about getting onto WoW. All right, guys, that concludes this video. I hope those tips were helpful. If you have anything that you're going to focus on once you get 60, or anything that you think that I've missed out on this guide, please comment below. And any of the really good information, I'll definitely make sure to pin so other people can see. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you watching my videos, and much like you, I'm very, very excited for Classic WoW. So, with that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.